Croeso Channel Black Fluid. And that music means we're back with some more Burrows. This might be a slightly shorter video. We're going to run up to the current end of Mark's route, and so we can pick that up in the future when we get more updates. And I want you to get this as far as we can for Mark right now. And if you remember last time, Gray and the others had just got out of the sewers. So let's go and see how they're doing. Ollie graciously frees my head from his grip. We climb out one by one, find ourselves on a small side street. We're back. It's finally fucking over. A few onlookers briefly gawk at us, but eventually turn their attention elsewhere. I chuckle and drag myself onto the grassy boulevard, collapsing into a heap of exhaustion. What was the point of that? Was he really testing me? What does that have to do with my nightmare of Mark? You know, fucking dying. And it wasn't Simone. That's crossing the line. Wait, Simone. Sim, we're in the... It's too late. She's already looking around, mouth agape in awe. Ollie looks unfazed. Wow, you weren't kidding. I shrink back. Knowing I'd been stuck here was ultimately my fault. We may have found a way out of that dungeon. The mystery isn't over yet. Sim, I'm sorry. I wrote that damn note. I worried you and Etienne sick. Got you wrapped in this weird bullshit from me and Virgil. I'm an idiot, alright? I'm a useless fool who only knows how to run when things look bad. I couldn't put you through that again. Sure, you probably already resented me for cheating on you. No matter how many times you say you forgive me, I'll never believe it, by the way. But there's no way you can excuse this. You're trapped in the future because of my mistake. You'll never see my face again. I won't blame... Ew! Huh? I look over and see her rubbing her snout and shivering. Ollie holds her to his chest and she nuzzles into his feathery arms. I believe the lady's too cold to respond to your pedantic confessions, Mr. Gray. Oh, shit. Of course, I was only in the situation a mere 2 days ago. She's got teleported from humid and muggy Louisiana to wintry in NYC. The temperature's dropped noticeably since I stepped out earlier and I'm starting to shiver too. I rush over to her other side and hold her, hoping that my own meagre body heat is enough to warm her up. I suggest we find somewhere to purchase her a coat. You know, if she's to spend an extended amount of time here, she'll need more than just that. He cocks his head distastefully at her dress. It's practically only lace and see-through silk. Perfect for the stage, but not intense weather. Was it a good show? She nods weakly, warming her hands with her breath. I quickly look around and check where we ended up. A street sign says First Ave. So I ended up downtown in the end. I wonder if Virgil did that on purpose. Regardless, I have a mission right now. Scanning the air, I notice a second-hand clothing store a block away, some jackets hanging in the window. Ollie, that way. Let's move together. Oleander. And yes, let's go. We awkwardly shuffle over as a unit, practically pushing her through the doors we fumble inside. The shop owner gives us an odd look, but goes back to a book, giving us a few minutes to warm up. You know you're cold when your thighs are feeling it. I reckon it'll take some time before thighs of your magnitude can fully thaw. Perhaps we can find some pants to go with your new wardrobe. She gives him the stink eye for grabbing my hands and putting them between her legs. Right in the middle of the store. Cold, right? They felt like perfect, pillowy snowbanks. Cold, yes, but soft. Right, yeah. Ollie shakes his head disapprovingly and begins to browse, leaving us alone for the first time. Well, let's hope they take quarters. Oh, don't worry, I got this one. She reaches in between her breasts and pulls out a wad of bills. It was a good show. Full house, big tippers. I crack a smile, expecting nothing less. Her singing was outstanding. She always drew a big crowd when she sang at Jean's. I wanted to see her perform one last time before I left, but I was worried if I did, I couldn't go through with it. Glad to know I was right. So, see anything that's catching your eye? She chuckles, sitting down on a beanbag and crossing her legs demurely. No, Gray, I've just been informed I'm in the 1960s. I have absolutely no idea what fashions are in right now. And? She pouts and crosses her arms childishly. There's no point in trying to put together a decent look. I'm lost before I even started. Just pick something out for me, sugar. You have a good eye. Ah, the familiar routine. She tells me to pick and then hates every single thing I bring her until she caves and looks for herself. I must have the goofiest grin on my face as she stops pretending to pout and giggles when she looks back at me. Sure, sugar. Maybe I'll get it right on the first try this time. I bet my left tit you won't. But good luck. I venture into the back, making a mental note to buy her a contemporary fashion magazine sometime soon. I think she'd rather like how liberated the women of this era seem. There are racks upon racks of dingy denim jackets in garish colours, tacky white culottes and hundreds of demented-looking hats. I really don't want to walk out of here empty-handed. She won't make it back to the apartment at this rate. Fuck, I'm going to have to explain this to Mark somehow. The day is really not my day. I'm so caught up in my thoughts I nearly trip over a box in the corner of the store. The owner cranes her neck to see what the ruckus is, and I silently mouth an apology. The box is full of more sensible items, without a brown suede jacket that looks about her size. I was never great at discerning one's bust size, but style is more important right now. Hey, Ollie, what do you think of... Huh? He's gone. Did he slip out while I was talking to Simone? Wow. Leaving without a word after all that, but left a bad taste in my mouth. Regardless, I run to show Simone my find, hoping my time with Mark has improved my fashion sense. Oh, that ain't bad. I like the fringe too. Right, it kind of reminded me of the cowboy get-ups we used to wear as kids. Huh, yeah, didn't Sam have... Yeah, sorry. It's alright, I brought it up. By the way, where'd Ollie go? Oh, him? He left a few minutes ago. He wrote down his contact info for me in case we need to get in touch again. Huh. Odd guy, that one. Oh, look who's talking. So you'll take it? I hold up the garment. She claps approvingly, snatching out of my hand and dancing over the register. Yep, now let's get something to eat. I'm starving. Same old Simone, living each day by the seat of her pants and having fun to boot. We walk back out into the cold, less harsh now that Simone's walking with me arm in arm with the new duds. Should we ask around for a place? Nah. Let's walk around. Don't you want to see the city? What is it with men and never asking for directions? Hey, I'm just trying to... Oof. Some guy walked straight into me, almost knocking the both of us over. Sorry, pal. Asshole, are you alright, Gray? Yeah, I just... Wait. I suddenly feel lighter. I pat my pants and notice my wallet's gone. Damn it, that guy just robbed me. What? Oh, just wait till I get my hands on... him, yeah, fellas. We pause and turn around, seeing the young rat swaddled in layers of winter clothes holding out what looks to be my wallet. Yeah, it's a pretty classic trick, my guy. You just gotta be quicker than that around these parts. Don't worry though, store it back for you. I snatch the wallet back and comb through it before remembering it was empty to begin with. I slide it back in my pocket and laugh awkwardly, embarrassed. Thanks. Oh, that's AJ. You two's new around here. Simone pushes past me and leans down, staring inches from his face. Yes, we're very new. Could you maybe show us a good place to eat? She's using her baby voice. Now what's in it for me? She pulls out her wad of cash again and licks her fingers, pulling out a few singles as AJ watches wide-eyed. How's $5 sound? The kid snaps out of it and nods, holding his hands out greedily. She lets go of the bills and he snatches them out of mid-air, stuffing them into his coat in the blink of an eye. A pleasure doing business with you. All right, follow me, chumps. Before I can add anything, he starts power walking down the block. Simone grabs my arm and pulls me along. I almost trip over my feet. Once again, she's adapted perfectly to the situation. We pass an alleyway and I stop in my tracks. Homeless, packed wall to wall. Women, children, old, young. Simone notices and doubles back, her smile faltering. That could have been me if I never ran into Mark. Hey, what you two's doing? Ah, yeah, real shame, especially this time of year. Aren't there any shelters they could stay in? They're all full. They're not trying to get arrested just so they can get a cell to sleep in. Jesus. That ain't bad enough. They've been going missing lately. People are talking. Really? They say some gal come by and offer you a place to stay, asking for nothing in return. And then? Nobody knows. They don't come back. That's awful. Yeah. Just rumours though, right? He gives me a confused glance and nods slowly. Yeah, technically. Still troubling info either way, boss. There's no way. Right? Mark had plenty of chances to... If he really wanted to, I mean. It's hard enough to believe someone would specifically target the homeless, let alone him. He has too much to lose by letting strangers into his apartment. Plus, he said I was the first visitor, didn't he? If that was a lie, then... Hey, I got lost in thought and jumped at the noisy rat. The possum? Come on, I've still got a job to do here. Let's go, Gray. I nod and run to catch up with the other two, those dark thoughts still lingering. I can't help but look back at the alley as we walk away. We take a few sharp turns till we come to a large diner situated on a quiet street corner. There you go. This place is pretty decent. Decent? Your burger and fries doesn't get much better than that if you ask me. I'm sure it's fine. I'm hungry. She tugs on my arm, dragging me towards the door, and I wave goodbye to our little guide. He smiles and tips his hat at me as he turns away. I can tell he's heading towards the alley we just came from. So he's homeless too? God. My heart sinks. He can be older than 16. Whatever rent Mark pays on his apartment would probably feed that whole group for a week. Don't forget where you came from, Gray. You're equally guilty of not helping. We get seated by a nice older lady and get brightly coloured paper menus. Simone orders a coffee. I'm in the mood for something a little bubblier. I'll have a sarsaparilla. What? You mean a root beer? Huh? You know what? You're getting a root beer. Do I have a choice? You'll love it. Okay. She writes down a notepad and walks away, leaving us alone. So? She fidgets in the seat, looking out the window and tapping rhythmically on the table. There's no chance he's all some crazy dream already at home, preferably drunk and passed out. I sigh and lean on my hand, quickly scanning the menu even though I'm definitely getting a hamburger. No, believe me, I've had time to rule everything out. Something unexplainable has happened to us. I think it has something to do with Mark, and the other ones I mentioned. Right, in the golden place. The place that sounds suspiciously like heaven, yet you're clearly not dead. Yeah, I'm fairly certain Mark isn't either. But not 100% certain. I'm burying my face in the menu, uncomfortable with the topic. I saw something in a nightmare. It felt too real to have been completely in my head. I vaguely described the scene, even the gory details vague as to not spoil our appetites. I can't help but feel like something awful is going to happen any day now, especially how unpredictable he can be sometimes. Gray. I mean, yeah, he's handsome and rich, and he's pretty much taken care of me for free. Gray. Who wouldn't take advantage of this opportunity in the position I'm in? This was just the hand I was dealt. Ahem. A large bull is tapping his foot, notepad and pen at the ready. Sorry, I'll just have a hamburger. Oh, he furrows his brow. Anything else? That's all, Sim. I'll have a grilled cheese and fries, extra crispy. The Wovine nods and takes our menus, walking with heavy hooves into the kitchen. I slam my head into the table, cursing myself that awkward reaction. He probably serves hundreds of burgers a day, Gray. I know. He's probably having a good laugh about it right now. That makes it worse. She giggles and pats me on the back. After a few minutes of small talk, our food arrives and we eagerly dig in. It's decent, like AJ promised. Something about mediocre food can be more comforting and satisfying than a 5-star meal. Just getting to sit with Simone, someone who, just a few days ago, I thought I'd never see again, feels surreal. Maybe more surreal than anything Virgil's thrown at me. I notice the clock on the wall. It's almost 5 o'clock. Shit, he's going to get out of work soon. She stops and looks at me mid-chew with a puzzled look. Huh? Oh, that Mark guy. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to even leave the house today. Supposed to? I gulped, realising how bad that sounded. Yeah, it's not like that. She puts her fork down and leans her elbow on the table, sternly looking at me. Gray. Again? I had a feeling this would come up. Hey, come on, Sim, I just met the guy. And you're already living with him. I really don't have time for this. If I want to get home before Mark, I have to leave now. I'm enjoying my time with Simone too. I shouldn't be so worried. What should I do? We are going to catch up with Mark. And I will be doing some more stuff for Burrows, not just Mark's route. But I recommend downloading it so you can experience all the choices and make more sense of the story. No, I made a promise. Friends keep their promises. Promises. Simone, I'm sorry, but I have to go. I see. I'm going to need some time to convince him that you stay with us. But I'm sure if we... I don't want to stay with him, Gray. What I want is to go home with you. I want to go home too, Sim. I know this whole thing is tied to Mark somehow. I can't let whatever I saw happen to him. He's important to me. More important than me? Come on, you know that's not what I... Actually, I just remembered something. What? She gets up, throwing some change on the table without counting. Ollie told me I could stay at his place till we figure out what's going on. Think about me being his lucky charm. I think he's trying to solve the mystery on his own. Oh. But are you sure you can trust him? She rushes past me, her bushy tail almost knocking me over. I grab her wrist and squeeze it gently. I hear her mutter something under her breath. What? Can you really trust him? Yes. I'm happy then. She wrestles around for my grasp and jets out the door. Just like that, she's gone again. I didn't ask her to find me. I have to finish where I started. Then we can all go home. Sorry, Sim, but you'll thank me later. With the food paid for, I head out to look for another subway entrance, preferably not a sewer this time. I locate the same line I needed to originally get here, head down the stairs. I doubt Roger's going to pull the same trick twice. I notice a canine worker posting something on the bulletin board, while a line of people wait impatiently by the information booth. What's going on now? I get the old lab's attention. He moves his fluffy bangs out of the way to take a look at me. What's that now? Hey, is something going on the trains? I need to get home. He slowly blinks a few times and replies in a dry tone. I guess that was a dumb question. Yeah, looks like the Sea Beach line's currently suspended due to derailment. What? Hey man, I just work here. I apologise and walk over the map, shaking my head in frustration. So train lines can just suddenly go out of commission and leave you stranded, huh? I don't have the money or navigation skills for a taxi. What to do? Then the trains nearby will connect without a long walk between stations. At that point I might as well just... Oh, right. I fish around and find the piece of paper from this morning at the bottom of my pocket. It's crumpled, but the museum's address is legible. It's what we agreed on. Even if he gets mad, it's better than getting completely lost. I run back over the Labrador, straighten out the paper against the edge of the poster board before holding it up to him. Hey, what train can I take to get to the MoMA? Well, you go a few blocks south and catch a northbound 8th Avenue train to 53rd and 5th Avenue. They're closing soon, I'll see you better. I already ran up the stairs where we can finish. As per his instructions, I found myself on the correct train heading towards Mark's work. Not for a very long ride, so I need to think of what to say to him. Hey Mark, I know you told me not to leave the house, but I remember I'm an adult, so I fucked around in the city and ended up in a demonic subway station. No worries though, found my friend who's also been sent here from the past with no proof, and we escaped. Oh, but don't forget the photo of your dead brother I found in that drawer. I'm sure there's a perfectly normal explanation for it. Okay, seriously though. Hey, I'm sorry I left without telling you. So I wanted to surprise you by getting to know the city on my own. And look, I even made it in the museum by myself. Let's tuck it out and order more pizza, okay? Yeah, that sounds good. Depending on his mood, he'll either work or I'll get yelled at for a while before he eventually caves and forgives me. Maybe some wine would help speed that up. That sounds awful out of context. My stop comes up before I can ruminate on the subject any longer. I collect myself and head out into the world again. Before I can appreciate the majesty of being in Midtown again and being pelted with cold droplets of rain. Oh, come on! Everyone seems to have magically expected a sudden shower, so I'm the only one without an umbrella. I sigh to myself and trudge onward, remembering a similar walk only a few nights ago. At least it's warmed up. The setting sun's reflected against the soaking wet asphalt, its peachy orange hues occasionally interrupted by the indigo shadows of people walking across. Street lamps burn defiantly, and car headlights cast a blinding refracted glare as they catch my eyes while making a turn. Even in the rain, the rhythm of the city continues uninterrupted, and I'm that one discordant note, straining the listener's ear. I spot the entrance and take shelter under the awning, making a futile attempt at shaking myself dry before walking in. Well, here goes nothing. I go to open the door, but it slides open on its own, as if it could somehow sense me approaching. Act unfazed, Grey. You can't freak out at Mark's job. The lobby is mostly empty, a few lingering patrons staring at some extremely abstract art occupying the walls. Spotting the reception desk, I make eye contact with the greeter, who's entirely bewildered by my dishevelled appearance. I fake a wide grin and confidently trudge over, trying to ignore the squeak of my wet shoes against the marble floors. I probably look insane. This is New York, remember? She'd be the weird one for making a scene. How can I help you, sir? Actually, unfortunately, you'll be closing the public in 15 minutes, so ticket sales have ended for the day. Right, I'm actually here to ask about one of your employees. Her eyes widen with interest for a moment before returning to their default expression of indifference. A name? Mark. Mark what? Fuck, how did I never get that out of him? It's like I gave him mine either. Sir? Her bratish tone and the feeling of stares and the other patrons are starting to get to me. This was a mistake. Mark. Big red maned wolf, colourful suits, red glasses. What departments? She has to be fucking with me. Archives. She clicks a few buttons before picking up the phone, holding it in place so she can reapply lipstick while looking in a tiny mirror. Hello? Yes, Lauren? We have someone looking for a Mark in archives. Ring any bells? You can hear a pause followed by some murmur on the other line. The gazelle finishes touching up her makeup and nods occasionally before hanging up. Well? The head of the conservation department will be here shortly to help with your inquiry. How would that help if she's in another department? She rolls her eyes and twists open the bottle of nail polish. The odd chemical smell hit in my nose like a ton of bricks. She's the only department leader still in the office, sir. May I remind you, we're closing in 10 minutes. She says the last part through gritted teeth and I back off, waiting around the seating area without actually sitting, lest I damage their precious couches. A few minutes later, a slim cheetah exits one of the elevators and is pointed my way by the receptionist. She walks halfway before stopping, noticing the state I was in. I can see her whispering something to herself or approaching me, examining me before extending a hand. Hello, you must be the fellow looking for Mr. Lazarus from the archive department. Huh? She sighs and puts her hands on her hips. Mark. Christ, he didn't even tell this one his full name. This one? Yeah, Mark. He's still here, right? I didn't miss him. What did he promise you? A place to stay? Food and shelter? What are you... does it? I can't turn a blind eye to this anymore. Jill? She hollers at the gazelle and almost falls out of her chair. Lauren reaches over and grabs the phone from her desk, yelling at someone before hanging up. Am I in trouble? She doesn't answer, tapping her foot impatiently while looking over at the elevators. Soon the doors open and Mark leaps out, rushing over to me with his coat slung over his shoulder and briefcase half open. Okay, what are you doing here? Before I can answer, Lauren steps in between us, staring Mark down with a low growl. It seems one of your young wards has come to the museum to see you. What are you implying? You can't keep doing this. Did you forget what happened the last time? Especially if you're going to come to the museum to workhouse asking for you. What if Mr. Charleston saw this? I already warned you once. Mark snarls and gets in her face, fists clenched at his side. The fight has attracted some onlookers. He speaks in a flat, menacing tone. Stay out of my fucking business, Lauren. I told you about that in confidence. When our boss started coming to me for answers, it became my business, Lazarus. Hey guys, please stop. Mark, I just want to go home. Yes, of course. I'm sorry. He pushes past Lauren and rubs my shoulders, pushing me towards the door. Mark. He turns around and looks at her a final time. This one is different, Lauren. Please don't tell Mr. Charleston. She looks away and stays silent, ears lowered. Come on, Gray. He ushers me outside, struggling to pull an umbrella out of his coat pocket while we wait under the metal canopy. Look at all the trouble you caused. Excuse me? He sighs, ignoring me to continue fussing with his coat. This one isn't thrilled either, you know. That got his attention. He whips around, staring me down with cold eyes. You were supposed to wait for me to come home. You saw how dangerous the city was. I told you again and again. Just fucking wait. But no, you clearly knew better, judging by your current predicament. Oh, Mark's just here to take the fall when you show up to embarrass him. You know I wasn't doing it on purpose. Don't lie to me, Possum. You knew this would get under my skin, didn't you? What? No, Your little friends from the Roaring Twenties magically show up and decide to whisk you away on an adventure against your will? With a rabbit there too? Come on, let me fucking talk. He shoves a finger in my face to shush me and I swat it away, baring my teeth and growling. Stop it! He backs away, ears lowered. Ray? Fuck this conversation, fuck this day. I stomp the ground in frustration and run towards the subway. Gray! Don't turn around. I can't deal with him when he's like this. Looks like the problem with the train line's been fixed. Good, I can get back to the apartment myself. I ride in silence, sopping wet and cold. Nobody looks at me. I'm alone again. I want to be. Nobody talked to me like that. He was so tender last night. I thought I actually knew him. Such a fucking idiot. The second something isn't going Mark's way, he snaps. I don't want to be around that Mark. Just like when I was with Etienne. Well, it's exactly what Simone would say. But she'd be right. Am I just attracted to assholes? No. Mark was an asshole the first day. That's why I fell for him. It's weird I'm already nostalgic about it. He was just so perfect then. I sit up and lean forward, resting my arms on my knees. Everything about that was so dreamlike. This feels like the harsh reality I'm used to. Disappointing people, abandoning my friends. And the photo. And the photo. Maybe he really is just that broken about losing Joshua. People react to death in all sorts of weird, unexplainable ways. That's no excuse for mistreating me. That's the only reason he picked me up off the street. What's that Lauren lady implying? I'm not the first. If what AJ was saying is more than a rumour. There's no way Mark is a serial killer, right? A temper, sure. Atypical personality, absolutely. But murder? That's out of the question. I don't have a shred of evidence to convince myself otherwise, but still, that's an extreme accusation to make. Maybe if I get to the house first, I can find something to protect myself with. This is East 77th Street, 5th Avenue. Shit. I drove to my seat and out of the door. An old man who I swore was asleep the entire ride managed to snap awake and step out after me. Do New Yorkers have a sixth sense that tells them when it's their stop? My brief amusement was replaced with the dread of going back out in the rain and doing any drying off the train's heaters had accomplished. And ceremoniously stomped my way towards the apartment, remembering there being a covered area by the entrance I could take refuge under. I turn the corner and see someone sitting there already. It's Mark. No taxi would be faster than the train, I suppose. He notices me and looks surprised while melting back to a sombre sadness. He turns away and I feel my heart sink. I rub my arm and debate for a moment before walking over and sitting next to him, not saying a word. His eyes are red and puffy, the fur around them matted. He cry on the ride home. Damn it, I'm not supposed to feel sorry for him, but I do. Hey. There's something I've never quite figured out about you. He grunts inquisitively, still looking at the ground. A guy who's everything, a good job, a nice house, lived in the richest city in the world, wanted me. So? I guess I'm just not used to kindness, genuine or otherwise. He scoffs and waits a few seconds before responding. I'm so hard on you because it's genuine. Huh? He sighs and turns to face me, his amber eyes dulled by the overcast skies above. I know I can be a lot. I don't have a ton of experience dealing with people anymore. Ever since I got this job, I've isolated myself out of fear. Fear of what? People meeting the real me? Figuring out I'm some kind of fake, that I'm not actually qualified around the tasks they give me. Or worse, wanting to socialise with me outside of work, learning there isn't much to me. I'm just an old, washed-up dog who's lucky to be making this kind of money. Mark, you know that's not true. I don't. You don't understand what it's like living here, Gray. Anything you have can be taken away in a second. Those homeless families in the alley. Like AJ. Like me. And why were you... I pause and try to find a way to reword what Lauren said. Taking people in. Other than me, I mean. He's silent for a while before replying in a hoarse voice, choking back tears. I don't know. Maybe because I thought I could earn this whole being well off thing if I gave some of it back. When you donate to a charity, you don't actually see the good you do. You have to assume it ends up in the pockets of whatever disenfranchised group you're aiming to help. Well, if I saw a guy, anyone who I thought would be safe to bring in, clean up, get a taste of the life I'm so privileged to have, maybe it would feel less hollow. I think I finally get it. Things had gone differently. If I'd stayed at the manor, I'd be like Mark someday. Carrying the same guilt, coping with the same unearned benefits that come with our species and our families. The wound never closes, it just bleeds slower. Put an arm around him and rub his back. I get it. He sniffles and wipes his nose on his sleeve, those dull eyes beginning to glisten again. You do? Yes, I've been where you're at before, and I made the wrong choice by running. So, I'm not going to run from you either. He pulls me into a tight hug and I squeeze him back. I can't lose anyone else, Gray. I don't want to be alone again. Please don't go. Damn it. Every neuron in my brain is screaming at me, telling I'm making the same mistake I did in my last relationship. Some of them sound like me, some like Simone. Most like Simone. I reason them all away, focus on the rush of dopamine filling my body like a glass of decadent rosy wine. I start giggling to his chest and looks down, confused. Shrugging, I wipe tears out of my eyes and kiss him on the nose, making his ears flicker on cutely. Eh? Just like that? I smile and get up, brushing myself off before holding out a hand. Yeah, come on, I think I'm overdue for a shower and you have work in the morning. Can't spend all night out here caterwauling now, can we? Alright. He takes my hand and we head upstairs. We're barely even in the elevator before he pulls me into a kiss. I use my tail to hit the button for our floor. Mark, I'm all wet. Your suit. I don't care. I feel his arms around my waist and he leans into me, pinning me against the wall. I've been waiting to do this all weekend. I feel my whole face turn red and close my eyes, enjoying the feeling of his warm breath against my cold, shivering lips. The ding of the elevator snaps us out of it. He pulls away as an older woman walks in, giving us a curious look for turning her attention elsewhere. I sigh in relief and hear Mark giggling next to me. I elbow him gently and he reaches behind me, wrapping my butt. I listen to his squeak and cover my mouth, avoiding the gaze of the elderly feline who must have some suspicions by now. I whisper for him to stop, and he pats my ass one last time before removing his hand. She eventually gets off a few floors before us, and surprisingly, he doesn't pounce on me the second the doors close. We get to our floor and walk in the apartment. Mark hanging his coat up properly while I toss the umbrella in its receptacle. I promise I'm not being a horn dog, but could you take your clothes off here? You know, since you're going to shower. Right, don't want to mess up the carpeting. It's alright, I'm not feeling very shy. I peel everything off me and sling it over my shoulder. Mark whistles and claps, giving me a once-over. Respectfully, you're incredibly sexy, my dear. Right back at you, Mr. Lazarus. His brows furrow, reflect on his lack of transparency. I walk behind the couch and grab his chin, tugging lovingly. Hey, it's fine. You're fine. Thanks. He starts sniffing the air, head slowly turned to face me. I can hear his tail thumping against the couch. Are you absolutely sure you have to take a shower? What happened to not being a horn dog? Oh, guilty. Take me to Pheromone State Penitentiary. Mark. Smelly solitary. Oh my god. I'm going. Now. I hear him rattle off a few more musk puns as I throw my things in the dryer and close the bathroom door. The shower doesn't take long to heat up. I slide the glass door behind me, letting the water wash away the last few days. My sore muscles, my greasy fur, my wind-weathered nose and ears. Well, I'm locked in now, aren't I? Mark just does something to them. The good moments are like a dream. He's determined to make this work if he is. If Ollie does find a way to get me and Simone home, I'll be taking with us. If life here is so stressful and resorted to desperate measures just to cope, I'll gladly save up and buy a ranch somewhere in the countryside for us to retire in. Retire? God, I need to stop thinking so long term. Only 25. Though, I've been saying I'm only since I was 20. Maybe that stops being an excuse at some point. Whatever. I finished washing up for another 10 minutes, making sure to rinse my mouth out as well. I remembered I threw up earlier. I'm really hoping Mark didn't taste anything nasty when he kissed me. I switched the water off and heard the sounds of the TV. I guess Mark got bored waiting. Hoping he kept some of that energy from the elevator for tonight. On second thought, let's keep it to kissing and cuddling for now. I don't want this to be Etienne Part 2. This has to be done right. Toweled off and fresh as a flower, I open the door and get pounced on immediately by him. Fresh possum. He nibbles my neck playfully and I giggle, giving him a peck on the cheek. Play nice, puppy. I've had a rough day. Oh yeah? You'll have to tell me all about it. He starts rubbing my chest, occasionally hitting one of my nipples with a stray pinky finger. I try to compose myself, uttering words between moans. Hey, can we at least get to the bedroom first? What are you implying? I feel myself getting hard and see he's pitching a tent too. Well, to be honest, this is kind of a whiplash. His playful gestures stop and he pulls away slightly. Am I doing too much again? Only slightly. I don't want to lead you on, is all. I don't want to have sex tonight. His smile warms and he hugs me again, rubbing the back of my head tenderly. Oh, is that all? Ray, honey, there's no pressure to perform for my sake. Are you sure? Of course. Oh, we don't mind more kissing and some heavy petting. It's going to be hard to keep my hands off you, so long as I have permission. I lean into him, then my boner poke between his legs while his rubs against my stomach, getting a slow, dopey moan out of the big lug. I'd be pretty upset if that big bed was just for show. Come on, let's make up for lost time. I grab his hand and he leads me into the bedroom, somewhat cleaner when he left that morning, though I doubt he noticed. He's already getting naked. Mark, you're... Beautiful. He blushes for gesturing to me to come over. Shucks, you're too good to me, Gray. We roll into the bed and get into the covers, our bodies drawn to each other like magnets. His hands are up and down my back as we grind into each other. Gray, you feel fucking fantastic. This is the same to you. I grab a big chunk of his neck and push my tongue down his throat, feeling his whole body shiver against mine. He responds by tightening around my waist with both arms. He's trying to merge our bodies together. Time loses meaning. We do this dance until we peter out and fall asleep. Neither of us finished, but, at least to me, this is what intimacy is actually about. I would take a cuddle session with Mark again over sex with anyone. As we drift off, he saddles up behind me, flopping an arm lazily around my waist. Been a long time since I was a little spoon. The only downside is I can't fall asleep looking at his face. There we go. That's it for Mark's route currently. If another update comes out before I get back to Burrows, we'll definitely do that next. But otherwise, we'll be dropping in on one of the other characters and starting up their route. I think I know who I'm going to go with, but I'll leave that as a surprise for now. I'm not sure I'll do all routes. I'm going to try and do as many as I can for Burrows. And I'm going to check with the dev, see what is recommended by them to explain the story to all of you watching. But we'll see how that goes, and we'll figure that one out as we go along. But that's it for Burrows. On the weekend we have more Nevin, and we have a party to go to there. And also something I have to work on because I have no tune for a certain section there. That's going to be fun for everyone. But it is on the weekend, and before I wrap up today on this extra little video for you, special thanks as always to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are the mark to my lost possum in New York. Thank you, Jago Hazard. And my top patrons are Andy Payne, Smuto, Omar, Big Booty Judy, Nova Starburn, Mohammed Al-Zamel, Aaron Fox, Exac, Evan King, Marcus, Sindri Dragowolf, Kopi, Spiderling, Grizz, Dissonance, Anubis Silverwind, Ida Corval, Tiger Cub, Brian Hall, Bastion, Lark Eskerton, Legacy Bucciarati, Copas Vissa, Kartek, and Burnt Toast. So thanks to all of them, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.